Hi there, so today we are looking at the theme of fate and destiny in William Shakespeare's Macbeth. So, just like normal, I'm going to go through the 4 key points that I would make. I'm going to go through the analysis that I would say about each of the quotes, and all my analysis has been colour coded to match what the examiner is looking for on their mark scheme. So, how does Shakespeare present the theme of fate and destiny? Shakespeare is showing the power of the supernatural to determine our fate and destiny, but he is questioning integrally whether this is a result of innate human selfishness or the supernatural's desire for chaos. We see throughout our play the supernatural say something's going to happen, they state what Macbeth's fate is going to be, but then arguably it is Macbeth that is the one who makes that fate come true, either through his own actions or through his inability to recognise it as being tricked and the riddles that they are giving to him. So, how does Shakespeare present the theme of fate and destiny? I have 4 points that I would make. First of all, the witches declare they will meet Macbeth at the start, and they do, showing that they are the bastions of this fate. They're the ones that drive it, and I've got there to meet with Macbeth as my quote for that. I'll then talk about how the supernatural uses the concept of fate to create chaos and destroy Macbeth. This fate is not a good thing, and I've got "Is this a dagger I see before me?" Nice obvious quote, but lots of analysis ready to go for it. Now I then look at Macbeth's involvement with this fate, for Macbeth tries in vain to control fate, and I've got "I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate" for that. And then I'll talk about how Macbeth puts his faith in fate and destiny, and this is what costs him his life, for by the end he says, "Bring me no more reports, let them fly all." So paragraph 1, Act 1, Scene 1, the witches say they're to meet with Macbeth. So the witches declare they will meet Macbeth, and they do, so they're the controllers of fate and destiny. But this is not a good thing. The thunder and lightning of the scene reflects the chaos and the danger they bring to society, so they will use that fate to hurt and destroy our society, and Macbeth is just a pawn in that big operation. Now, a Jacobean audience would associate the witches with the ultimate evil, and they would firmly believe they can control the future. So this instantly establishes Macbeth as a victim of their power and their desires, as a victim of their control of fate. Now, the verb meet connotes a two-way conversation. If you're in a meeting, you're both contributing, you're both gaining something out of it. So this would imply that he's going to gain out of their controlling of fate as well as themselves. So even though we are seeing how the control of fate is associated with evil and how we are seeing that it's going to create chaos, we also see this as something that Macbeth's going to gain from and possibly enjoy. So moving on to paragraph 2, and I have this quote here: "Is this a dagger I see before me?" So this shows the supernatural are using the concept of fate to create chaos and destroy Macbeth. Now this dagger symbolises the fate controlling over him, leading him to his destiny by killing Duncan, but the fact this symbol is in his head reflects the supernatural control of him and our fate is something that is out of our control and something deep within our mental state. Now the noun dagger connotes a secrecy and a cowardice in murder, which reflects the lack of pride and glory in meeting our destiny through these means. And I've got this interrogative here, this question mark, which reflects how Macbeth does not understand the fate that he has been outlined by the witches. He can't decipher the line between what he can control and what controls him. He's confused and he's at a loss at what's going on now. However, he does recognise there's no such thing. A little bit later on in this soliloquy, he recognises later that this is just something he's seeing, is not an actual dagger floating in the sky. So he still proceeds with this murder. Therefore, Shakespeare is questioning whether fate only transpires because of our selfish acts, or is it a greater power that we can't control. Paragraph 3, I would look at this one. "I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate." Now this is when Macbeth returns back to the witches and they say, "Watch out for Macduff, he's going to kill you." And this is where Macbeth decides he's not just going to kill Macduff, but he's going to kill his family as well. So Macbeth here is trying in vain to control fate. This is quite ironic because he used to embrace fate and act accordingly to its instructions when it was as benefit to him. When the witches said, "Oh, you're going to become king," he was very quick to go and kill King Duncan, and he was very quick to go and make decisions that are going to let him become something else. But when it's a threat to him, he believes he can suddenly control that fate. So Macbeth here is underestimating the power of the supernatural. He believes he can control the fate now he's at the top of the great chain of being, but no one can do that. No one is as powerful as the supernatural, and therefore it's going to cause him more pain as he goes on. The witches have not told him to kill Macduff's family. They've just spooned him a riddle. Therefore, do we determine our own fate, and is it wrong of us to blame it on a higher power? I believe Shakespeare presents us this question. Finally, my last paragraph will be on this one. This is at the end of the play, where Macbeth is putting complete faith in his fate, where he says, "Bring me no more reports, let them fly all." He's banking on the 3 riddles that the witches have given him being enough to save him. So Macbeth puts his faith in the fate and destiny. This costs him. He refuses to hear any information on the enemy forces because he wrongly believes the supernatural and his misunderstanding of fate will protect him. Now, this blind reliance on fate makes him a dangerously ineffective king, for he's not only putting his own life at risk, but he's putting the lives of his army at risk and undoing his chances of victory. This is also going to bring down the king of a country, which breeds a whole new political instability and is not going to be a positive impact on the society. Now, the verb here, fly, connotes the little regard he now has for reality and the tangible threats to his life. He wants them all just to fly, wants them all to be far, far away from him. And the key thing in this scene here is that Lady Macbeth is no longer here, and she was arguably the main driver of his destiny. When it comes to Macbeth reaching his fate and his destiny, it's unquestionable it wouldn't have happened without Lady Macbeth manipulating him and pushing him to go and make the choices that he did. So now he's alone to meet his fate, which may be the final nail in the coffin as him as a victim of the supernatural, a victim of fate, and a victim of his wife. It was established at 1 Scene 1, and here we have that complete cycle of him being once again presented as that victim alone to face his own fate.